Hey guys, this is the Unity Star Premium Candle Making Kit. All of the stuff inside the kit has been laid out on the table. You get 6 bags of natural soy wax. It equals 3 pounds. 2 soy wax milk cups. 6 different colors: dark green, corn silk, pumpkin, light yellow, Indian red. 3 different jars, 3 different metal jars, 2 metal candle wick holders, a spoon, a thermometer, the instruction booklet. Of course they are saying thank you for buying. Of course they need you to buy more though. So go ahead and do so because this looks like a really good kit. Here are the warning labels. All the different dried flowers and fruits and spices to go along with your scents. Piping bags. And I really love these cute labels that they give you. And here you have your different scents. I really like that these are holiday scents. Lemon lavender, spiced pumpkin, balsam and cedar, vanilla cake, ooh, apple cider, and cinnamon bark. I will be adding the apple and the cinnamon together in this video. And we are back and we are all set up to make our candle. I will take the natural wax and I will put it inside my burner. This burner did not come with this kit, but it does burn evenly, and you can use any kind of little burner like this or a double boiler pot. I've got all my scents and everything ready. So I will go ahead and open the pack and pour it into my container. I've turned my heating plate on. I only put it on 1, it doesn't need much. I've got my wax flakes in. I'm going to stir it slowly as it melts because I don't want to get too much air in it. And I'm going to stir it often to help it melt evenly. But it is going to take a little while, so I will be back when it's melted. Here we are about 2 minutes in. As you can see, my wax flakes are clumping together. That's because wax likes to find itself. The non-melted spots will stick together and the melted spots will be with themselves. So you just kind of break it up some to help it melt. And then just slowly stir. Again, you don't want to get air bubbles in your wax because they will settle out and cause dipping in your candle. Really quick aside note, all essential oils have different burning points. This one wants you to put it in at 165 Fahrenheit to 185 Fahrenheit because if you put it in any hotter, your scent is just going to melt away before you even get a chance to burn your candle. Another tip is if you get all this wax buildup, just keep your metal spoon inside and slowly rub it against the side because it's so warm it will melt that wax away and you won't have it anymore. As you can see, my wax is done melting. I've turned off my heating plate and I've put my digital thermometer in. I didn't get this thermometer from this kit as I prefer this because it's easier to read. I don't have to sit here and wait as much and guess and is it this or is it that? No, it's definitely at that temperature. It does like to move, so I like to put a wick holder on it and it stops it from moving on you, especially since I like to stir now and then to keep it cooling evenly. I do like to keep it on my heating plate because it helps cool it more evenly instead of cooling just the outside and then the middle will stay warm. So I like to let it just cool naturally all by itself until it's at that temperature that I need for my oils. These oils need, like I said, the 167 range, but the oils I got from the other kits needed a 130 range, maybe to 150. So make sure you're checking each of your oils because they all burn differently. I'm going to go ahead and stir this, and I will be back to show you how to put a wick in a jar. So wicking is pretty simple. They come like this, or you can buy a spool and crimp it yourself into the bottom. Then you just take a sticker from the sheet, put it on the bottom of your wick, and put it directly in the middle of your candle. I've got my wick set in my jar, and then I'm just going to take these kitty nail clippers, and I'm going to cut my wick just above my stabilizer. And as you can see, my wax still needs to cool. A side note, you're supposed to try not to get your soy wax over 200 degrees. This soy wax seems to have a much higher melting point than the other kits did. The highest my other kits ever got was about 180 degrees. This one was very close to that 200 mark, so I'm glad I did not go over. As I'm still waiting for my wax to cool just a little bit more, I'm going to do it at 173 because that's right in between the range that they've got for these oils. So we're getting close. But this would be the point where you would want to put your label on your jar. I'm not going to do so because this is going to be for my own personal use. None of the labels came with a mixture of like apple and cinnamon, and that's my favorite scent, so that's what I went with. But you would put it on your jar, and then you would put your warning label either on the bottom of the jar or on the top, whatever you prefer. I prefer the bottom because a lot of the containers are really cute and I don't really want to mess them up with a boring plain caution label. There are some really cool ones out there with like metallic colors or Santa. If you prefer to get something that's a little more snazzy, this kit came with something a little more plain, but it does the job. All you need to do is tell them, hey, be careful, it's fire! Ah! Another thing that's different about this kit is these bottles are not drip bottles. They come with a little stopper that you have to pull out, and once you pull it out, you can pour your oil. The problem with this is if you're not doing a large batch, it can be really hard to know how much oil you've used. So far, because these kits are all different, I've just been going to scent. I just kind of waft the wax in my direction and see if I can smell it. But you're supposed to do about 10% oil to whatever your wax volume is. It's going to be a little tricky doing a single candle with this, but I will try not to overdo it since I am doing two different scents, and now I have to pour. So that's a little bit of a bummer. I do like the bottles that drip. If I did more of a larger candle, like these aren't very big. If they came with a bigger candle, I could see why I would want a pour, but it's tiny, so I'm going to use a small fraction of this oil, and I'm going to have to try not to pour it out too fast. Drip, definitely better. Pour. Now that my wax is cooler, I'm going to add my color block. For my candle, I'm choosing the Indian Red. I've shaved some pieces off, and I'm going to pour them in. And I'm going to do it slowly because I don't know how strong this is. In one of the kits, they kind of looked like this, but they weren't very strong. I had to add the whole block. And in this kit, these are kind of waxy like that, but they seem like they have more color pigment to them. So I'm going to add it slow, and I'm going to see how they compare to the other two kits I've done. It's kind of hard to see, but these ones seem to be in between the two other kits. I did have to add more than the condensed heart cube that I had, but less than the waxy heart cubes. Now that I've got my color right and it's cooled, I'm going to try to add just a few drops of each scent. I'm going to guess, I haven't done it yet, but that you would need more apple than you would cinnamon, because cinnamon seems to be a stronger scent than apple. Oh yeah, that cinnamon is definitely stronger, so I'm going to add a lot more apple to make up for it. And I'm going to stir probably for about 30 seconds to a minute. And then once I feel that it's completely stirred, I will pour it in my candle. Now that this is stirred, I'm going to go and pour it in my jar. You want to go slow. You want to try not to get air stuck. If air gets stuck, it will pit, or the wick will cone up, meaning it will climb up the wick but leave a hole near the end of the wick. And I'm going to leave it there for now, and I'm going to let this stay warm on the heater. Let that cool a little bit, and once it's at a certain point, I can add a top layer and add my decorations. As my wax is cooling here, I've decided I think I might decide to go with a light tan color on top for a cinnamon burst before I go with my apple. The thing about creating your own candles is you can decide what you want to do when you want to do it. No waiting for the store to decide, hey, guess what? That's a good scent. Let's keep making that. No more, oh, we don't want to do that anymore. We're going to stop making that. It's not selling good enough. Now your scent is in your power. So I've decided I'm going to go with a cinnamon top. I'm going to upload a picture of some of the finished products that this kit put on their website. You can be as creative as you want. That's the beauty of these kits. They give you all of the ingredients you would need to make whatever your little heart would desire and design it whatever way you want.